Welcome back to Tabletop Celts, or welcome to Tabletop Celts. I'm Jack. Today I'll be playing a solo battle report for you guys. It's going to be Warhammer 40k. I'm going to be trying out some 10th rules, so it's going to be a mixture between 9th and 10th, kind of like a hybrid game of 40k. I'm using the open war cards, so it's going to be an open play game. It's going to be 750 points. It's going to be Ultramarines versus Aeldari. I've picked a far-flung craft world. The army lists will be in the description below. So I'm going to do the army list, then give some pre-game setups to see what objectives and stuff I'm playing and deployment, and then we'll jump straight into the game. So I'll be back now in just a sec with the Ultramarines army list. Welcome to the Ultramarines army list. So I've got the Space Marine Codex, but I don't have the Ultramarine supplement. My relic is from the Ultramarine supplement. Everything else, rules-wise and stratagems, they are going to be coming from the Space Marine Codex. So I'm playing Ultramarines. So Ultramarines get +1 leadership, and they can fall back and shoot with a -1 to hit. Leading this Vanguard detachment, I've got a Space Marine Captain in Terminator armor. He's got a Combi-plasma and a Power Fist. The relic I have given him is Sanctic Halo. So he has a 3-up invuln and he can deny 1 psychic power. His Warlord trait is Storm of Fire. So if a core unit within 6 gets a wound of a 6, that's an extra AP. That's everything from a Space Marine Captain. I'll move over to my second HQ choice. I have a Lieutenant. He's got a Plasma Pistol and a Power Fist. Then I've just got pure elites. I've got 1 company veteran squad, 2 with bolt guns and 2 with plasma guns. And then finally, I've got 2 identical units of Sternguard veterans. The sergeants have power swords and combi melters. 2 of them have heavy bolters, and the rest of them have special issue bolt guns. So welcome to the Aeldari army list. I'm running a far-flung craft world, my Lingwei. So I get to pick 2 traits for this. I've gone for Warding Runes. What that does, it gives all my guys a 6-up invuln, and they get a 5-up feel no pain against mortal wounds. The second ability I've picked is Masters of Concealment. So if I'm more than 12 away, I class as having light cover, so a cover save for 10th rules, so I get a +1 to my save. So I'm running a Vanguard detachment for this as well. Leading the Vanguard detachment, I have a Farseer. He has got a Singing Spear. The relic I have given him is Flouchu's Wing. It gives him a move characteristic of 12. He can also fly. And if he moves over an enemy unit, I roll a d6 on a 2+, that enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. The Warlord trait I've given the Farseer is Ambush of Blades. In your command phase, select 1 for any core unit within 9 of the Warlord until the start of your next command phase. Each time a model in that unit makes a melee attack, improve the AP characteristic of that attack by 1. So my Farseer has 2 psychic powers. I've taken 2 from the Runes of Fate. I've given him Guide and Doom. So what Guide does, it casts on a 6. If manifested, I select a core unit or a character unit within 18 of the Psyker. Until the start of your next Psyker phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can reroll the hit roll. Doom is cast on a 7. If manifested, select 1 enemy unit within 18 of the Psyker. To the start of your next psychic phase, each time a craft world core unit or character unit from your army makes an attack that targets that enemy unit, you can reroll the wound roll. He also knows Smite as well, so he knows Doom, Guide and Smite. I'll move over to a troop choice I've got. I've got 12 Guardians. They don't have a weapons platform. They're also a mixture of the old and the newish models, so their bases might be slightly different. Then I move over to my elites. I have 5 Wraith Guards with Wraith Cannons. Then I have 5 Wraith Blades with Ghost Axes and Force Shields. Those guys will have a 4-up invuln. And then finally I have a Wraith Lord. He's just got 2 Shurikens and a Ghost Glaive. Ghost Glaive, yeah, with a giant sword. Welcome to the pre-game setup, guys. So I'm playing on a ruined Imperial world because the Ultramarines and the Eldar can't get along. So I'll go through the deployment and stuff. Well, actually, I'll go through the cards I drew first. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put these on the screen so you can see these clearly. 2 triangles in each corner as the deployment. They have to be 24 inches apart. Then for the objective, objective drop, so some supplies are dropping down from the sky, and the Aeldari and the Ultramarines are fighting over it. So I place an objective marker in the centre of the battlefield. At the start of each battle round, the player rolls off. The winner can move the objective 2d6. Starting from the third battle round, a player scores 1 victory point if they control the objective marker at the end of the command phase. In addition, a player scores 2 victory points if they control the objective marker at the end of the battle. The player with the most victory points at the end of the game is the winner. And then for the twist, I have Rage. So I add 1 to the attacks characteristic of all models. So then I rolled off for both sides. The Eldar won, they ended up over there, and the Ultramarines ended up over there, and then I did back and forth deployment. So I'll start off with the Eldar and how I deployed. So I've got my Wraith Blades, my Farseer, my Wraith Guard, my 12 Guardian Defenders, and my Wraith Lord. For the Ultramarine deployment, I tactical squadded my Stern Guard veterans. What I did, I put 2 heavy bolters and 3 other guys in a squad, and then the sergeant and the rest of them in another squad. So the first heavy bolter squad is up here. They got 2 heavy bolters, 3 specialist Boltguns. The second heavy bolter squad is... where are they? Where did I put them? They are by here. So 2 heavy bolters, specialist Boltguns. Then I've got the 2 other halves of the squad. So sergeants with combi melters and power swords, then the rest of them. I have my captain and lieutenant here. And then finally I have my company veterans there. So for terrain, I think they've simplified it in 10th, so everything has a cover save now if you're within it. Trees, you don't have to worry about negative movement. I think pipes you still do, I think it's still -2. Oh, I actually forgot, yeah, the objective is in the centre as well, I forgot to show you that. Lol. For dice, I'll be using these blue dice as the Aeldar's Fate dice. So because we're playing an incursion mission, I get to roll 6 and I get to re-roll 1 of them. Because I have a Farseer, they do, I'll go through that if you don't know what that is in the game. I'll be using these red dice as wound counters. Be rolling with some basic d6, white d6. The purplish dice will be for Aeldar's points and CP. The white dice will be for Ultramarines' points and CP. Now I'm going to be using the 10th rules for CP. I'll double check before the game starts, but I'm pretty sure you gain 1 at the start of the battle round. It might be the start of each turn. So I'm going to roll off for initiative now to see who will be taking it. So the Ultramarines got a 3. The Eldar got a 4. So Eldar will be taking the initiative. I'm also going to see who's going to win the roll off for the objective. Ultramarines got a 4. Eldar got a 5. So the Eldar get to move the objective 2d6. 9 inches. So I'm going to move the objective 9 inches down to that point down there. Yeah. Somewhere there. But there. So that's the pre-game setup stuff. So I'll be back now in just a sec with Eldar turn 1. So I've checked the rules in 10th. It's the Eldar's command phase, so both sides get a CP. So everyone's on 1 command point. Ignore the d20s at the moment, no one scored anything. I forgot to roll the Eldar's Fate dice, so I'll do that now. Okay, so I'm going to keep a 6. I'll keep a 1 for an advance roll, and I'll re-roll 1 of them. Because I have a thing, nope, so I keep a 2. So for my Fate dice, I've got a 1, a 2, and a 6. If you don't know what that means, basically each of these dice are on a table. For example, a 1, I can get to turn an advance roll into a 6. A 6 is, I can turn one of my saves. If I fail a save, I can turn it into a 6. And because my army has a 6 up in one, that's going to be very useful. Unfortunately, 2 is not going to be much help because it's a charge roll. Because we're so early in the game, I'm not going to get any charges off. Also in my command phase, my Farseer is going to give these Wraith Guard an extra AP for their weapons for his Warlord trait. Done the Eldar's movement, I basically just advanced everything. So the D6s represent how far they advanced. So my Wraith Guards, they advanced 5, so they moved 11. Guardian Defenders, they didn't use all their advance, to keep up with everyone else, I just moved them there. My Wraith Lord ended up there. Farseer, he just flew 12. My Wraith Guard rolled a 2, so I used my Fate dice to make it a 6. so they got next to the objective. Psychic, I don't think it's going to matter, but I'll cast Guide from my Farseer into the Wraith Guard. This is the one where they get to reroll ones to hit. Ooh, I get it on a 8, so those now are guided. I haven't got any shooting because there is a ruined building in the way. The Eldar aren't scoring any victory points because it's not turn 3. And it's not their command phase either. I've already done the movement, but in the Ultramarines command phase, both sides gained a CP. So Eldar and Space Marines are on 2 CP. For movement, I pretty much advanced most of my army, except this squad. I'm leaving this squad here as kind of like a backline or a fallback point, because they have the high ground as well, so they be getting extra AP depending on when the objective goes. So they're staying there. Everything else advanced. So these guys advanced 3, ended up there. Lieutenant advanced 1, Captain advanced 4. This squad, Stern Guard Veterans advanced 1. Second Stern Guard Veterans, they advanced 6. And the company vets advanced 5, and that's where everyone ended up. Once again, there's no shooting because there's a ruin in the way. That will be the end of turn 1. Rolling for the objective. So the Eldar got a 3, Space Marines got a 1. So the Eldar get to move the objective 2d6, 5 inches. So I'm going to move the objective back to that this pipe thing by here, to there. It's still not a scoring turn though. So they still have another turn to win it back and score. I got to do my Eldar's Fate dice. See what they roll. I got a 6. I will reroll one of these 2s for a 4. I need to double check what I want. So I'm going to keep these 3. I'm going to keep a 3, a 4 and a 6. 3 is for a psychic test. 4 is for a hit roll, and a 6 is a save. So it's the command phase for the Eldar. I'm going to give these Wraiths an extra rend in combat from my Farseer because of his ability. Both sides have gained a CP, so both sides are on 3 CP. And I'll be back after the movement. For the Eldar movement, I basically just shifted forward slightly, kind of securing the objective, which is there, in between those 2 Wraiths. My Wraith Lord and the Wraith Guard advanced, that's where they've ended up, and then everything else just moved normally. So we're kind of like using a fist formation and just securing the objective. Hopefully it doesn't move too far away from us. Psychic phase, I'm going to cast Guide on my Wraith Guard with the Wraith Cannons. Sorry, they're Wraith Blades. Yeah, these are the Wraith Guard. Wraith Guard, I'm going to cast Guide. 5, 6, 7, it goes off, so they get to reroll their hit rolls. Doom, I can't see anything. Smite, I can't see anything. So that's going to be the Psychic phase. I can't do any shooting because there's still a building in the way. So that's going to be Eldar's turn 2. Ultramarine movement. I advanced. So I moved these company veterans to here. So they have some line of sight. They can shoot some stuff. I'm playing a bit more. I'm playing a bit reserved because they've got a lot of combat and I'm scared. So these Ultramarines are lined up here with the Captain and Lieutenant. So the Captain and Lieutenant are giving their buffs to them. I rolled an advanced roll with my Captain. I rolled a 1, so I re-rolled it and I rolled another one. He ended up there. So Space Marines are on 3 command points, Eldar are on 4. My Lieutenant, he advanced 6 and ended up there. I left this squad where they are, and I left that squad where they are, and I left that squad where they are. So I'm going to do some shots now from the company vets into... Let's see. So I'm going to do my plasma guns into the Wraiths, and I'm going to do my bolt guns into the Guardians. So I'll do the bolt guns first. So it's 2 shots. Hitting on 3s. So that's 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. That's a wound. Sorry, I'm also going to be in Rapid Fire Doctrine now. And I'll be in Rapid Fire Doctrine, I think, for the rest of the game. I might change it to combat, but if I don't say anything, assume I'm in Rapid Fire Doctrine. So that's... yes, it's 1 wound. It's -1 because it's a regular bolt gun. So it's going to need a 6... oh no, so it'll be a 5 up, sorry, because when they're more than 12 away, they have a cover save. They still fail it. Yeah, I'll just lose a Guardian. I was thinking about using a 6 for my Fate dice, but I'm not going to bother. So I lose the first Guardian. I've got 2 plasma shots. I will overcharge them. I'm going to spend a CP with the Eldar. So it's going to take him down to 3 CP. And then give those Wraiths lightning and fast reflexes, so they're -1 to hit. And because they're more than 12 away, they get +1 to their save too. So it's 2 shots, overcharged, hitting on 4s now. So you get 1 hit, strength 8, so it's a 3 to wound. That's a wound. It's AP 4 now, technically AP 3 because they're in cover. So it's a 6 up invuln, or 6 up save either way, and he gets it. So that'll be it for turn 2. Now turn 3, this is the scoring turn for the objective, so we'll see who wins the objective. So the Ultramarines got a 4, the Eldar got a 1. So the Ultramarines get to move the objective now 2d6. Remember big numbers. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll move the objective there. So it's close to that building, so I can move guys in there to get cover and capture it maybe. And it makes the Eldar come forward to cap it. I've also robbed them from scoring it in their command phase. So the Eldar Fate dice. A 6. I will keep the 6. I will keep a hit roll. And I'll keep a 3. So I've got a psychic test, a hit, and a save. So this is the command phase for the Eldar. Both sides gaining a command point. So both sides are on 4 CP again. My Farseer is going to give the Axes an extra rend in combat. I'll be back after the movement. So I've done the movement. Once again, I've just moved everything forward. I haven't advanced anything. So I moved the Wraith Blades into the building. I'm hoping to get a charge off from there into maybe that Sternguard Veteran Squad. And then I'm going to do some shots with my Guardians and the Wraith Guard. I could do some shots with my Wraith Lord, and I can also do a charge with my Wraith Lord too. So maybe I can go into either this squad or this squad, depending on what the shooting does. My Farseer is by here. He has line of sight on these guys. So what he's going to do in the psychic phase, I'm going to cast Doom on the company vets. Ooh. Now, a Farseer doesn't suffer perils of the warp, but I'm going to CP reroll that, so down to 3 CP with the Craft World, with Eldar. It fails to go off. Okay, Q. And then he is going to cast a Smite into them with his psychic power. It does go off. I don't know if you need line of sight to dispel. You don't need line of sight to deny. So my captain with his relic is Sanctuary Shard, I think it's called a Halo, Sanctuary Halo. He's going to try and deny this. A 5 he doesn't because he needs to exceed it. So it goes off, it does D3 mortal wounds, 3. So it's going to I'll kill this guy. Actually, I'll say the guy with the gold on him is the sergeant, and then I'll kill this guy. And this guy will be on 1 wound, like that. So that's the psychic phase done for the Eldar. I'm going to do some shooting now. My Wraith Guard are going to go into these guys. So it's going to be 5 shots. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 2s. Freaking heck, okay, that's not great. They are -4. So they'll have cover for the pipe. So it'll be -3. So they'll have a 6-up save against this. Each one's a fail's a dead one. Could just kill the unit. No, luckily they do pass 2. Why not? I got the CP. I'm going to try and save another one on a 6. No. So I lose 3 of them. So I'll just take 3 special issue Boltguns. And I'll leave the Sergeant. They're like 3 plus D3 damage. So they just instant kill. Okay. So both sides are on 3 CP now also, because I did a reroll and I did something else for the Eldar. Wraith Lord is going to do his 2 shurikens into the last 2 men here. So it's 4 shots, hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s because it's strength 4. It's 1 wound, it's AP 2 as well because it's a 6, so it will be -1 because of the pipe, so a 4-up save. The Marine fails it, so he takes a wound. Like that. Then my Guardians are going to go into the company vets. Just to show you guys they are in range. 18 is... I don't know if you can see it on this camera. 18 is there on top of that white helmet. So those guys are in range. So there's 12 in there. They're assault 2, so it's going to be 24 shots. So I have 24 dice, hitting on 3s. I'm going to spend a CP for the Eldar called Blade Storm. So I'll take him down to 2 CP for the Eldar. And 6s gain additional hits for Guardians. Hitting on 3s. 1s and 2s go away, that was a crap roll. Sorry, all them were 1s and 2s, I've changed them, I accidentally picked them up. So all these go away. That goes away. That goes away. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6s, so 5 go back in. And I will replace the blue dice with white dice. So I'll take the 3 out. Like that. So all these hits, they're strength 4, so 4's to wound. I have got 2 at AP 2, and I've got... wow, well, that was a crap roll. I got 1 at AP 1. So this one's going to be a 3-up save. They pass it. These are going to be a 4-up save. They pass one and fail one, so it does kill another Marine. Like that. So it kills the Sergeant. So in the command phase, they're going to have to take a morale check. If they're alive. Have I got any more shooting? Don't think so. Oh, I do have my singing spear, so I'm going to do a shot into the company vets from the Farseer. Why not? Hitting on a 2. Wounding on a 2. It always wounds on a 2. Even though it's only strength 3. That's a wound. 3 up. And they pass it. Okay, so that's the shooting. So I'm going to declare some charges now. The Wraith Guard, or the Wraith Blade, sorry, are going to go and attempt to charge these Stern Guard veterans here. I'm not sure what they need, so I'll roll and see what I get. I actually forgot about my magic dice as well, lol. Nothing for a charge though, so I'll see what I roll. A 7. So 7 fails. Do I want to CP it? Yeah, why not? I'll gain 1, so I'm on 1 CP with the Eldar and I'm going to re-roll the charge. And it gets worse. So that's a fail. Then my Wraith Lord is going to charge the 2 company vets here. They're going to spend a CP for Overwatch, so they'll be down to 2 CP. Like that. And they will overcharge their guns into the Wraith Lord. Hitting on 6s. Get to reroll 1s because of the captain. So one of them's dying. But I do get 1 hit. Strength 8 to 4+. It is a wound. AP 4 because I'm in Rapid Fire Doctrine, so it's 6 up invuln. He fails it and takes 2 damage. They have 9 wounds, so I'll take him down to 7. And one of them dies, so I'll take not the Sergeant. And then the Wraith Lord gets to do a charge. Doesn't need much. 6. Yeah, that'll just get him into pipe. And we'll just fight over the pipe. Like that. Not going to do any more charges, so There's no heroic intervention, so my Wraith is just going to attack that Stern Guard. Not Stern Guard, he is a company vet. Okay, so the Wraith Lord's going into that vet. I'm going to use a sweeping blow attack, so it's going to be 8 attack, strength 7, -2, 2 damage. This might be overkill, but we're doing it. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. That's 3 wounds. They are AP 2. So it'll be a 5-up save for that Marine. And he dies. Poor guy. Ah. So I've done the movement for the Ultramarines. They have 2 CP, Aeldari have 1 CP. You know, they think they should be on... I think Ultramarines should be on 3 CP actually. And Aeldari should be on 2 CP. Because of the command phase. I think that's right. If not, I'm sorry. I took a break and I can't remember if I added it or not. So I might be cheating on CP. But open play, baby! Right, anyway. So this is happening. We got... The heavy bolter units have stayed still. The captain and the lieutenant have shifted as the Stern Guard veterans have shifted. My objective is to take out the Wraith Lord, because if I win the roll off with the Ultramarines and I get a 10, I can move the objective over here, and if I stay alive in my command phase, I can score it. And the Aeldari, you know, stay away. It's a long shot, but we're taking it. So I'm going to start off with this squad. I'm going to spend a CP for a Hellfire round from a heavy bolter. So if it hits, it does D3 mortal wounds. So it's 1 CP. I'll take it down to 2. The Aeldari are going to spend fast reflexes on the Wraith Lord. Takes them back down to 1. So the heavy bolter. That does mortal wounds. Hit it on a 4 now. It hits. Does D3 mortal wounds. 2. They do have a 5-up feel no pain against mortal wounds, but he does fail them both, so I'll take him down to 5 wounds. I'm still in rapid fire doctrine, so I'll shoot my other heavy bolter, hitting on 4s, 2 hits, wounding on 5s and 6s, nothing. I got 3 specialist bolt guns in that unit, but they are wounding on 6s, so it's not great. Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 6s. We get a wound. It's AP 4 technically. No wait, it's AP 3, sorry, because of the doctrine I'm in. So, but they get +1 because he's more than 12, so it's AP 2 technically, which will leave him with a 5-up save, which he fails. So he takes another wound. He'll take him down to 4. Then this squad is going to shoot at the Wraith Lord. Same result, but instead of the mortal wounds. So I got 2 heavy bolters. 2 heavy bolters hitting on 4s. Wounding on 5s and 6s. Get a wound. It's AP 1, but he ignores it because of he's more than 12 away. So it's a 3-up save. He passes. 6 shots from the special bolters because of bolter discipline, hitting on 4s. Oh, rerolls. Wounding on 6s because he's toughness 8. Nothing. Okay. We'll do a plasma pistol from the lieutenant, not overcharged, hitting on a 3 now. It hits. Strength 7, 5 or a 6, fails to wound. My captain's plasma gun's going into him. I might as well shoot both my guns because I'm -1 anyway. So the plasma side, hitting on... I'm not overcharging this. Hitting on 3s. They both hit. Strength 7, 5s and 6s. Nothing. The bolt gun side. Both hit. 6s. Nothing. Oh, he's too tough. He's going to kick our ass. This Stern Guard veteran squad's going into him. I got a melter shot from the sergeant. I'll do his bolter as well. So the melter gun hits on a 4, hits, strength 8, 4s. I rolled a 1. I'm going to CP that. Freaking gets worse. Well, it doesn't get worse, but you know, it doesn't hit. So both sides got 1 CP. Then I've got the bolter side of the gun.
One hit. What did I roll? A 1. I didn't need to CP that. I got a lieutenant there. So I'm still on 2 CP. Then I've got my bolter with a 1 hit, 6 to wound, fails to wound. And then I've got 8 special issue bolt gun shots going into the Wraith. 2, 8. Hitting on 4s. Rerolling 1s because of the captain. Okay, again, an extra 1. Looking for 6s. Ugh, nothing. Okay, Q. It's going great so far. My last veterans, my last Stern Guard, are going into him. Melt the gun. Fails. The bolter side. 1 hits. 6s. Fails. Special issue bolt gun. 1 hit. It wounds. It's an extra rend as well, so it's -4 technically, because a storm of fire. But he is blind cover, so it's -3, so it'll be a 6-up save. He fails, so we do take another wound off, so we'll leave him on 3. Wraiths be scary, they be tough. Right, so that's all my shooting. I am going to charge now. I'll start off with my lieutenant. I'm not going to bother CPing this for a Overwatch. So my lieutenant into the Wraith. I rolled a 9 for the lieutenant, so he's just going to clearly get in there. My captain's going to try. 7, yeah, just getting base contact. So maybe together we can beat them up. The only problem with this is that they will be in front, so they'll be easier to pick off now. I'll start off, I forgot as well, I had an extra attack because of the twist, but it didn't matter, I killed him anyway. I'll start off with the lieutenant. So he has 4 attacks for the charge, and then he has an extra 1 for the twist, so we have 5 attack altogether. He's hitting on 3s, because it's -1 because of his power fist. Okay, so he gets 4 hits. They are strength 8, so it's 4s to wound. That's 2 wounds, AP 2. So it's going to be a 5-up. He passes 1 and fails 1, but because he's a Wraith, he reduces damage by 1, so he's only taking 1 wound from that. So he'll take him down to 2. And then it's up to the captain. Captain has 5 attacks. Yeah, for the charge, and then 6 attacks because of the twist. Hitting on 3s. Okay, pretty good. Wounding on 4s. I'm going to CP one of these. There we go. Take him down to 1 CP now with the Ultramarines. So it's both sides have got 1 CP. I've got 4 wounding hits, a -2. So it'll be a 5-up save. Ooh, does he... Even if I CP one of those, he's dying. Because he's taken at least 3 wounds. Yeah. So we just got the Wraith with the Space Marine Captain. Space Marines! So together, the Space Marine Captain and Lieutenant took out the Wraith Lord. So that's the end of Ultramarines turn 3. I'm going to do the roll-off now to see where the objective is going. Space Marines. Got a 2. Eldar. Got a 6. Eldar move the objective 2d6. They are moving it 9 inches. So 9 will take me literally behind the Wraiths. It's actually pretty perfect, it's going there. So it's got a core unit on it, and it's by a massive chunk of dudes. So the Ultramarines are going to have to do some work, and plus the Eldar are going to score a point now in turn 4. I also forgot about my Eldar's dice. With my Wraith Lord, I failed 3 saves, so what I'm going to use my Miracle Die for 1, and then I'm going to CP reroll another one to see if I'm alive on 1 wound. I'm not. So even with the Miracle Die, I still died because I had 2 hits through. So I got a new round now, new Fate Dice. I think I just called them Miracle Dice. They're Fate Dice, new Fate Dice. I'll keep the 6 for a save. I'll keep a 4. I'll reroll one of them because I have thing. I got a 2. So I'll keep 2, 4 and a 6. The 2 is a charge, 4 is a hit, and a 6 is a save. So I'm going to try out the new mechanic for morale. It's the command phase for the Eldar, so I'm going to do a morale check for the Ultramarines, because they lost half their unit. They're fine, they're like Leadership 9. So they pass, so they get to use CP and stuff now. No one else, I don't think, has to take a morale check. So that's the command phase. Both sides gain a CP. CP-wise, Eldar gain a CP. Space Marines also gain a CP, so Space Marines are on 2 CP, Eldar are on 1 CP. Eldar are also holding the objective in the command phase, so they score 1 victory point. For the Eldar movement, I move my Guardians back and kind of spread them out a bit. The reason I've done that, if the objective does move again, I do have a decent amount of range on it. So if it ends up here, I can hold it. If it ends up there, I can hold it. But if I'm more like a 12, you know, because I have to move with that distance, so I've kind of spread out a bit. So I've done that with the Guardians. My Farseer and the Wraiths have just moved forward. They're just going to deal with all that mess over there. I didn't advance anyone, so I'm just going to do my Psychic phase. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to cast Doom on the Space Marine Captain. Doom. I rolled a 6, and it goes off in a 7, so that fails. I'm going to cast a Smite now into the Lieutenant. Looking for big numbers. They're kind of big. 6, 7, 8. I'm going to try and deny that with my Space Marine Captain. Needed a 9. Gets it, so he denies it with his relic. So not a great Psychic phase. Oh, I'll also give my Wraith Blades an extra rend from my Warlord trait. Shooting. I'm going to do 5 ray shots into the Lieutenant and see if I can kill him. Is that a bit overkill? Because he doesn't have an invuln. Well, I'll do 3 of the Wraith Guard into the Lieutenant, and I'll do 2 into these last 2 Stern Guard veterans. So I'm hitting on... I'll do the Stern Guard veterans first. Hitting on 3s. Ooh. Do I CP this? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the 4 from my Fate dice to make it a 6, so I get 2 hits. There we are. And then they're going to be 2s. So I get 2 wounds. AP 4, technically AP 3 because they're in cover, so it's going to be a 6 up. They fail them both, they both die. Miracle dice, pretty cool. Miracle dice. Fate dice, pretty cool. Then I have the last 3 shots going into Lieutenant, hitting on 3s. I'll CP one of these. There you go, I get 2 hits. Strength 8, so looking for 2s. There's 2 wounds there. It's -4. There is no cover from there, so I think he just dies. It's 6 damage plus 2d3. Yeah, he's just melted. So the Lieutenant's gone. No, he looks so cool. Yes, I'll see who's in ring. I'll do a Singing Spear from my Farseer into the Captain. Why not? Hitting on a 2, wounding on a 2. 2 up save, I think the Captain has. He's fine. Then I need to measure how many Guardians are in range of the Captain. So I have 6 Guardians in range of the Captain. So that's going to be 12 shots because they're Assault 2. I'm hitting on 3s. Okay, not great. Not a freaking 1s and 2s there. Wow, 4 hits. Well, 5 hits. 4s. That's going to be 3 wounds. AP 1, but he don't care because he's a Terminator. 2 up save. There you go, he passes all of them. And that's the shooting for the Eldar. Combat, I'm going to charge my Wraith Guard into the Space Marine Captain. Yeah, I see why not. I'll spend a CP. So it'll take me down to 1 CP with the Space Marines. I'll do a Combi-plasma into the Wraith Guard, hit it on 6s. Nothing. I wasn't overcharging as well, I should say that. So I got nothing. They get to make their charge. I'm going to use... I'll see what I roll. See if it matters. Okay, I got a 7. I don't need it, but I'm going to use my Fate dice of a 2 to turn the 1 into a 6, so I can move 12. So I can clearly get me around the Captain. and beat him up. Get me like that. I also realise as well, because I'm holding a pipe, I get to set to defend. What I'll do, I'll just give myself +1 to hit in combat instead of shooting. Right, so the race get to attack first. I gotta work out how many freaking attacks they've got. Okay, so bad news for the captain. There's 15 attacks, strength 7, -3. I don't mind that because I have an invuln, but they are 2 damage. So we'll see how it goes. I'm hitting on 3s. Pretty good. There's a lot of freaking hits. I am wounding on 3s. Okay, lose a bit more there. So I have 7 3-ups to make. Dare to live. I think he does. Lol, he does. Yeah, so he has a 3-up invuln because of his relic. And he freaking passes. He takes some damage. I'm not sure how much wounds he's got. So he passes all his saves except 1. So he takes 2 damage and it'll take him down to 4 wounds because he's a Terminator. So that was pretty freaking impressive. Can't take down an Ultramarines captain that easily. So he's going to attack back. He's got... Oh, actually, they all have an extra attack each. I forgot about that because of the twist. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra attacks. I spoke too soon. Hilarious. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s. Oh well, I still can't kill him. 3-up invuln. I'll CP that. Oh, captain. Damn it. So I take it a further 2 wounds, so it leaves me on 2 wounds. So I'm still alive, and just a bit more battered. Everyone is out to CP now as well. Okay, now the captain gets to attack. 6 attacks, 1 for the charge, or 1 for being charged, and 1 for the twist. He gets +1 to hit because of the, what's this called? He's doing a defense against the pipes, so he gets +1 to hit. I can't remember what the terrain rule for that's called. My mind's gone blank. So hitting on 2s. Nice. Wounding on strength 8, so 3s. So we got 5 wounds. They are AP 2, so it's going to be a 4-up invuln. Right. Now here comes the sucky part. So they pass 3. Now that would be 4 damage normally. That would kill one. But because of their race, they reduce damage by 1, so I'm only doing 1 damage. So they takes 1 to 1 wound. But they are still alive. And that's it for Aeldari's turn 4. I don't think I can back my captain out either because he is mega trapped. So yeah, that's going to be a bit rough. I can't even back out and shoot. Or I can't back out and let my entire army shoot them, so they're just stuck in there until he dies, which is poopy. So I've done the movement. In the command phase, both sides got a CP. So what I decided to do, I decided to leave the captain for his noble sacrifice, and I moved the Sternguard veterans up this way. My plan is, if I win the roll-off, and I move the objective quite far, it can end up down here, and I get a point for that. So that's what I'm kind of hoping. I left these guys where they are, because they've got the high ground, so they have the extra AP, and I'm going to do some shots into those wraiths, and then my captain's going to have to survive another round of wraith combat, which is poopy. Right, so I'll do these guys first. I'm going to spend a CP, which will take me down to 0 from the Ultramarines, and do a Hellfire round. So if it hits, it does D3 mortal wounds. And everything... Well, I need to see if I'm in range, actually. So my special issue Boltguns are range 30, so I'm well within range there. So all these guys are going into them. Heavy Bolter. Oh, do I care? I'll rub it in. I'll spend the Eldar CP for fast reflexes. So both sides now are on 0 CP, and then -1 to hit. So the Bolter hitting on a 4. It hits, it does D3 mortal wounds. It does the big 3, but the Eldar have more invulns. They have a feel of pain against mortal wounds on 5s. So he takes 2 wounds. So one of them is on 1 wound. I'll take it on the back one. Like that. My other heavy bolter, hitting on 4s. Nothing. Special issue Boltgun, hitting on 4s. Wounding on 6s. I get 1. So it's AP. I'm still in Rapid Fire Doctrine, guys. Sorry, I forgot to say. The reason I'm not in Combat Doctrine still is because they have a 4-up invuln. He's already -2, and I still have a lot of Rapid Fire on the board, so I'm staying in Rapid Fire Doctrine. So that's 1 hit. It's AP2, AP3 because I'm in Rapid Fire Doctrine, and it's a further AP because it's high ground. So because I'm on top of a ruin, I'm shooting down, I get an extra AP. So it's going to be a -4, but they still have a 6-up invuln. They fail, so I do take the last wound off that, and I forgot. No, I have done it. Actually, what I will do, I'll spend my save from my fate dice. So I rolled a 2 for my save, and then I'm going to use my fate dice to make it a 6, and I'll pass my 6-up invuln. So that rate is still alive. That's my shooting, because I can't shoot anything else. Yeah, so it's just going to be combat. The race get to attack first, so it's going to be 15 attacks going into the captain again. I don't think he can survive it this time. Sorry, I forgot to mention as well, I advanced those guys. They move normally, I advanced those guys. I forgot to mention that. They advanced 2 and ended up there. So it's 15 attacks, but because of the twist, it's an extra attack, so it's 20 attacks. 20 attacks, hitting on 3s. Oh, dude. He is so boned. Oh my days. And then it's going to be 3s again. Oh, damn. Damn. So he just needs to make all these on a 3-up. No 1s or 2s. It was close. Yeah, he dies. He takes 4 wounds. Dude, that was so close though. Damn. Yeah, he's dead. Ah, a noble last stand, Captain. But they beat him up and took his lunch money. And then these guys will just pile in, I guess. Oh, no, what they call chase. Why was that there? Oh, it was just Captain's wounds and he's on 1 wound. There you go, and then I'll pile in that way, or whatever the hell it's called. So I'll move 3 slightly that way, so I move a bit closer to the closest enemy unit. It's currently 1-0 to the Eldar. I'll see where the objective is going. So Ultramarines got a 2, Eldar got a 2. I'll re-roll it. Ultramarines got a 6, Eldar got a 3. So the Ultramarines get to move the objective. 2d6, 6 inches. Yeah, it's not great. Because obviously I'll move it this way. And it's going to be in the center of the building. So next to the pillar. I was kind of hoping for a big roll there. So I'm not within 3 of it, so they're not scoring a point. Right, let me think. I'll roll the Eldar's magic dice while I'm here. Eldar's fate dice. I'll keep the 6, obviously. I'll keep a psychic test, I think, and a wound roll. Right, I need to see now if I actually want... Is there a point continuing in? So no one is going to score a point for holding the objective, so it's going to be 1-0. But if you hold the objective at the end of turn 5, you score 2 victory points. So if the Space Marines take the objective away from the Eldar, it will be 2-1. And if the Eldar take the objective, it will be 3-0. So I'm going to continue playing, because the Space Marines can still win. So I've done the Eldar's movement. Both sides got a CP, so they're both on 1 command point. So I flooded the Guardians and the race into the building. Only one Wraith is in the ruin, so only he can shoot. And I've only got 5 Guardians in the ruin. So only 5 of them can shoot. I did advance them both, so they're going to be -1 to hit. I know Eldar can advance, but they have to take like 3 or 2 away from their movement. And I needed the movement to get in there and to get more shots. I flew my Farseer up here, so I'm going to smite with this guy. And I moved the Wraiths here. My plan is with these Wraiths take these guys out, and then with the rest take these guys out, and then the objective would definitely be ours then. I'm going to cast a smite from my Farseer into the Sternguard Vets. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use my 3 from my Fate dice to turn 1 into a 6, and then I'll roll a dice. And I got a super smite. Now they don't, Farseers don't perils, so he's fine. And then it's D6 mortal wounds on these guys. I love that. You get a super smite and you get a 1. Freaking heck, that sucks. Alright. So one of them's taking a wound. A whole wound. Congratulations. My Farseer then's going to doom them. And he fails to get that. Yeah, I don't think you're that good, Farseer. You need to do better, mate. Shooting, I'll do 1 Wraith shot into this guy. Hitting on a 4 because I advanced. It hits. Wounds on a 2. I'll turn that 1 into a 6 with my Fate dice. Whoop! So that is a wound. It's AP a lot. They don't get a save, so he just dies. Then I'm going to do 5 of my Guardians into this squad. So it's going to be 10 shots. And then I'm going to spend Blade Storm. So 6s give me an additional hit. So I'm out to CP with the Eldar. So I've got 10 shots going into these guys, but 6s give me extra hits. There we go. So that's a fail. I'm actually hitting on 4s. So I lose 3, but then I gain 3 because of the extra 6s. There we go, that worked out. Strength 4, toughness 4, so it's going to be force to wound. Pretty good. So we've got 3 at AP 2 and 3 at AP 1. I'll do the AP 1 first, so it will be a 4-up save. That kills 1. And then we have 3 at AP 2 looking for 5s. We pass 1, but we fail another one, so it kills another Marine. I'll just keep the heavy bolters. So there's only 2 heavy bolters left in that squad. I'll do a singing spear shot from the Farseer into them, hitting on a 2. Fails. Hilarious. Then it's just going to be combat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to charge... I am thinking about charging the Wraiths into both of them, so I can definitely get the objective. But if I fail, they can't thing. I'm not too worried about... These Wraiths are going to charge these guys. Do I bother overwatching? I'm going to... Thing is, they have to take a morale check in the command phase. Okay, I'll spend my CP. Both sides are on 0 CP. These guys are going to overwatch against these guys. It's just because there's 1-on-1 wound, so I'm hoping to take him out. So I'll do the special issue bolt guns first. So I've got 4 in there, so it'll be 8 shots. Special issue bolt guns hitting on 6s. Not a 1, worth the CP. And then the melter gun, it hits. Strength a lot, that's a wound. 4-up invuln. 3 6s that roll then, damn. And then I've got a bolt gunshot from the sergeant, hitting on, no, there's nothing. Okay, so there's the overwatch, worth, not really. I get a 6, I get in there, so it'll take me literally like to here. Attacking, I do have to charge someone, so it'll be like that, and then that guy gets pile in. Like so. So that's where they end up. I'll charge my Farseer into the bolters, just to tie him up. He flies, so he doesn't care. A 3? No, you stand there. You do nothing. So 20 attacks into the Sternguard veterans from the Wraiths because of the twist. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 3s because they're strength 7. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Just put that there. These are AP, I think 2. I'll roll and see if it matters. It might actually, hold on. 1 dice, 2 die, 3 die, 4 die, 5 die. Yes, definitely. Oh, there you go. So even if it's just AP 1, they all die because it's 5 dice there, and they're like 3 damage or 2 damage each. So, and then I get to consolidate 3. Yay! So with consolidation, I'm just out. So I think I have to be within base contact now to actually be in combat, and I'm literally just slightly out. Because there's 3 there, and then there's that, so I'm just out. If I'm doing this wrong, I'm sorry. So those guys are free to move, shoot and charge if they want to. So that's Aeldar's turn. Okay, Ultramarines turn 5, both sides gain a CP. I'm literally just going to put 2 heavy bolter shots into the Guardians. Because I'm not even going to bother shooting these guys because there's no point, it's just for the objective now. So I've got 6 shots, because I moved and they're heavy. So it's going to be hitting on 4s. Ugh, 2 hits. And then wounding on 3s, it's 1 wound. It's a fail, but I'll just use my 6-up save to pass it. I actually forgot I need to take a morale for them as well. I'll just use my command point for the Space Marines to pass it, because they've gained 1 in their turn. So they could do that. Okay, so that's the shooting. I might as well charge. I'll do the Eldar command point to Overwatch. So it's going to be 10 shots. 10 shots from the Eldars going into those 2 Marines. Nothing. The Marines make their charge. They make it. So the Sternguard veterans, so they have 2 attacks. Then they have 1 for the charge, and then 1 for the twist, so it's 8 attacks. So it's 8 attacks going into the Guardians, hitting on 3s. So I'll be in Assault Doctrine now, guys, because it mainly comes down to this, and I would have known that in the previous turn. Yeah, so I'm going to be in Assault Doctrine, hitting on 3s, those miss, wounding on 3s, I got 4 wounds, it doesn't matter, let's see what I get. I get 2 saves and 2 fails, so I'll just take the back 2. I'm not going to bother doing the Guardians attack, because they still have more bodies on the objective, so the objective is theirs. So at the end of the game, it's going to be 3-0 to the Eldar. It was close, it was kind of cool having my captain do a last stand over there, and it was cool these guys just rushing in trying to take the objective, but alas they couldn't pull it off. So that's the game, guys. 3-0 to Eldar.
Oh, right, here we are with the end game chat. You know, even though the Ultramarines took a lot of losses, it was still pretty close. Literally, I think it was turn 4. If I rolled a bit higher for the objective, because I think I moved a 6, and that's what moved the objective into the building. If I rolled higher, like a 12 or an 11 or 10, I could have moved the objective even further, and I think I would have had it then with the Ultramarines. I think it would have been 2-1 then. I know I still had the Wraiths, but I don't think they could have got to the last 2 heavy bolters. Depending on where I put the objective, it could have made the difference, and it could have easily swung there to the Ultramarines. So it was pretty cool playing it through. I liked both the lists. I love running pure Sternguard veterans, especially as your Boltguns. So good, -3. I haven't looked at the new rules, the new profiles yet for Sternguard veterans, but I hope they kind of stay similar, because -2 for specialist Boltguns is pretty cool. And then you take like 2 heavy bolters in the squad and you combat squad them, so you basically have like mini dev teams running around the place. And then you have company vets, they can take like plasma weapons. You just have like a 5-man plasma team if you wanted, because the sergeant could take a Combi-plasma. And yeah, I like the force. It was very elite and kind of, what would you call it? Like it was like a parade, like the Ultramarine parade of all the fancy boys coming out, trying to get the supplies. It's the same with the Eldar. The Eldar using their undead constructs to take their victory with all their crazy weapons and stuff. To be fair, the twist didn't help either, giving them an extra attack. Like 20 attack on 5 guys. Strength 7 minus 2 do damage is crazy. The psychic powers, that was kind of a hit and a miss. But it's just nice to have, because when it does go off, it's a nice buff. I kind of wish I played Eldar a bit sooner now, because I do like the idea of the fate dice. We roll 6 dice and you get to re-roll if you have a Farseer, and they do stuff in the game. That's just fun. I hope they keep something like that in 10th. That'd be interesting to see. But yes, I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to leave a comment. I would appreciate if you leave a like or subscribe. That'd be great. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.